A coffin descending into the ground has a way of ending every trivial argument about life. In that moment, as soil hits wood and voices fade into an awkward silence, something shifts. It isn't just grief. It's heavier, almost disorienting. A quiet realization that everything we cling to feels temporary, fragile, provisional. People are born, they build entire identities, entire histories, and then they vanish. Cities rise, empires stretch across continents. Technology reshapes the world. Time passes. Everything dissolves. Even stars, those distant symbols of permanence, live out silent cycles of ignition and collapse. Everything obeys a pattern that feels almost cruel in its consistency. Emergence, transformation, disappearance. And somewhere beneath all of this, a question waits. Not loudly, not always consciously, but persistently. It appears during sleepless nights, in hospital corridors, in the strange stillness after loss, or in that rare moment when someone looks at the night sky and feels a kind of intellectual vertigo. Why is there something instead of nothing? Not just Earth, not just life, everything, space, time, matter, energy, consciousness. Why does any of this exist at all? The mind tries to escape quickly. It reaches for the simplest relief. At some point, the universe began. But that relief doesn't last. Because if everything began, something else immediately follows. What came before? The usual answer sounds simple: nothing. But true, nothing is not darkness. It is not emptiness. It is not a silent void floating somewhere. Absolute nothing means no space, no time, no laws, no potential, no possibility. Not even a place where something could fail to exist. Nothing. And that's where the discomfort begins to deepen. Because if there was truly nothing, who created it? Across history, 3 different paths have tried to confront this question. Philosophy, which questioned whether nothing can even exist. Science, which tried to trace the origin of the universe. And human experience itself, where the feeling of emptiness appears in ways that feel disturbingly real. 3 lenses, 1 mystery. And the deeper you look, the more unsettling it becomes. Because a possibility begins to emerge quietly, almost unwillingly. Maybe the greatest mistake humanity ever made was assuming that nothing ever existed. Thinking about nothing feels easy until you try to take it seriously. The mind collapses under its own attempt. Every effort to imagine nothing produces something. A dark space, a silent field, an empty void. But darkness is still a condition. Silence still happens somewhere. Emptiness still requires space. Absolute nothing erases even those. Over 2,000 years ago, a Greek philosopher named Parmenides reached a conclusion that still feels almost aggressive. Non-being cannot be. The statement is deceptively simple, but its implications are brutal. To think about nothing is already to think something. To speak of nothing is already to use language. The moment you point at nothing, it stops being nothing. It becomes an object of thought, a presence. Aristotle later reinforced this discomfort. He rejected the idea of a true vacuum not just physically, but conceptually. Reality, in his view, does not tolerate absolute absence. Nature does not leave metaphysical holes. Centuries passed. The question refused to die. Then Heidegger sharpened it into what may be the most unsettling philosophical question ever articulated. Why is there being rather than nothing? He wasn't asking about origins alone. He was exposing something far more disturbing. Existence itself is strange. There is no obvious reason for anything to be here at all. And yet, here it is. The human mind reveals its limitation when it tries to go further. It cannot stop constructing. It cannot stop filling. It cannot hold pure absence. Even our language betrays us. When someone says, "I feel empty," they are not describing nothing. They are describing an overload of absence, of meaning lost, of something that should be there but isn't. The so-called void inside a human being is never truly empty. It is saturated with memory, tension, expectation, and silent despair. So after centuries of philosophical effort, a disturbing idea emerges. Nothing is not just difficult to imagine. It may be impossible. And if nothing cannot exist, then reality could never have emerged from it. Galaxies are colliding right now, silently, without witnesses. Stars are collapsing into themselves. Entire planetary systems have already been erased. Civilizations rise, dominate, decay, and become artifacts. Everything follows the same indifferent rhythm. For most of human history, this pattern was observed but never explained. Then the 20th century broke something open. The universe is expanding. Galaxies are moving away from each other, as if space itself is stretching. When scientists traced this expansion backward, they arrived at a conclusion both elegant and terrifying. Everything was once compressed into an unimaginable state. This event became known as the Big Bang. But the name is misleading. It wasn't an explosion in space. It was the emergence of space. Time itself began there, which leads to a paradox that feels almost mocking. If time began at the Big Bang, then asking what came before might be meaningless. Still, the question refuses to disappear. Some physicists propose something even more provocative. The universe could emerge from nothing. But this is where language becomes deceptive again. The nothing of physics is not nothing. A quantum vacuum is not empty. It is structured, governed, alive with fluctuations. Fields exist, laws operate, energy persists. Particles appear and vanish in microscopic intervals, as if reality itself cannot remain still. So the scientific version of nothing turns out to be something deeply active. And that creates a subtle but critical shift. If the universe came from a quantum vacuum, then it did not come from nothing. It came from something we do not fully understand. And once again, the idea of true nothing disappears. The deeper physics looks, the less silence it finds. The vacuum is not quiet, it vibrates. Quantum fields permeate everything. Even in their lowest energy state, they refuse absolute stillness. Fluctuations emerge spontaneously. Particles flicker into existence and vanish before they can be observed directly. Reality behaves less like a solid structure and more like a restless surface, constantly shifting beneath itself. Even in its emptiest state, existence is busy. There is no clean absence, no final stillness, no true void. This creates a strange parallel with human experience. A house after loss feels empty, but it isn't. It is filled with echoes, with memory, with absence that has weight. The silence is not nothing. It is presence without form. And perhaps the universe behaves the same way. What we call nothing may simply be a layer of reality we don't yet recognize. Not absence, but hidden presence. Some people achieve everything they were told would matter. And still, something remains unresolved. When the noise fades, a quiet tension surfaces, a feeling often labeled as emptiness. But again, it is not nothing. It is the absence of meaning. Nietzsche saw this fracture early. When he said God is dead, he wasn't celebrating. He was diagnosing. The collapse of shared meaning leaves a vacuum the human mind cannot easily survive. And into that vacuum comes nihilism, not as a philosophy, but as a condition, a slow erosion of significance. Camus described the human situation as absurd, a creature that demands meaning, placed inside a universe that does not respond. And yet, something persists, even in the absence of answers, even in the silence. there is awareness, there is questioning, there is presence, which introduces a strange, almost mystical tension. If nothing truly existed, there would be no awareness to question it, no consciousness to feel it, no observer to name it. The very fact that the question exists may already be proof that nothing never did. When philosophy, science, and human experience converge, they point toward the same unsettling direction. Nothing never appears, not in logic, not in physics, not in consciousness. Every attempt to find it results in something: a structure, a field, a thought, a presence. So perhaps the real error was never about misunderstanding the universe. It was about trusting the question. What created nothing assumes that nothing existed. But what if it didn't? What if reality was never born from absence? What if existence is not an event, but a condition? Something that does not begin, something that does not end, not in time, not in the way we understand cause and effect. This doesn't solve the mystery, it deepens it. Because the question changes, and it becomes far more dangerous. Not who created nothing, but why is there something at all? And why? Is it aware of itself? There's something unsettling about realizing that the deepest question you've ever felt has no clear edge, not an answer, not even a boundary. Because when you follow it far enough, it stops being about the universe. It becomes about you. About the fact that you're here, right now, aware, asking questions that shouldn't even exist if nothing had ever truly been real. Think about that for a second. If there was ever absolute nothing, no space, no time, no possibility, then this moment shouldn't exist. This thought shouldn't exist. You shouldn't exist. And yet, here you are, breathing, thinking, watching. There's something almost unsettling in that. Not comforting, not poetic, just strange. Like reality itself is not what it appears to be. Like existence didn't start the way we imagine beginnings. And maybe, just maybe, the reason this question won't leave you alone is because it's not just a question, it's a signal, a crack in the surface of things. Most people feel it for a moment and then distract themselves. Notifications, noise, routine, anything to avoid that quiet tension that asks, why is any of this here at all? But you didn't scroll away. You stayed. And that already says something about you. It means you're willing to look at things most people avoid, to sit with discomfort instead of covering it, to question what feels untouchable. And honestly, that matters more than you think. This channel exists for that exact reason, not to give easy answers, but to explore the questions that don't let you go. If you felt something while watching this, even if you can't explain it, you're already part of this. And if you want to go deeper, there's more waiting. There are over 90 exclusive videos for members, where we take these ideas further, slower, without filters. Content that isn't just meant to inform, but to stay with you after it ends. Becoming a member isn't just access, it's a way of saying, this kind of thinking matters. And if membership isn't your thing, that's completely fine. Just being here, watching until the end, already helps more than you realize. Sharing the video, leaving a comment, even just returning for the next one. It all keeps this alive. And if you feel like giving something back in a more direct way, the Super Thanks button is there. Not as an obligation, but as a gesture. A quiet way to support something that, in some way, supported you. No pressure. Just an open door. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just a channel. It's a space for people who are willing to question what most avoid. And if you're still here, you already belong.